I live in Coltishall and I'm an agricultural technician.
Mhm.
So I fix tractors, but they're green tractors before anyone jumps on the bandwagon and says they're blue. They're definitely not, they're green.
Good.
Okay.
John Deere ones, yeah.
Yellow and green,
No,
I hope.
they're bent actually, but
Someone can help.
so yeah, and my hobby is obviously collecting match worn and match issue Norwich City shirts. And I've got a collection of over 704 shirts now, ranging from
Wow.
1971 to present day.
No way. Can I ask you a quick question, Billy?
Yeah,
They're match worn, right?
yeah, they stink.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you have a window cracked.
Yeah, so how I have it set up, it's like they're locked away, and then I unravel the room so that I can then display and do my social media videos and photos.
Mm.
So sometimes if you came round, you wouldn't know what I've got because it's all I can lock it away, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. So it's almost like in a sort of locked space, and then, as you say, when you do go and present, you just open it all up, and it's there ready to go, right?
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, we had, I don't know if you listened to the episode we had with Rhys Lewis, who was a Stoke fan. He actually quoted you on the pod and said that he was.
I do follow him.
Yeah, he's your. You were his inspiration. He said that he followed you on Instagram, and as soon as he saw that, I don't know if he had some shirts already, but he sort of said, "Well, I really want to do that as well," and he had a passion for it, and he was like, "Right, fair enough, I'm going to do this." So I think you're actually inspiring some of our sort of non-Norwich fans really across the country.
Yeah, to be fair, the collecting scene's quite nice because everyone looks out for each other. Like if you start talking to someone and they've got a shirt you want, and then they've got say a Stoke shirt we'll sort of Reese, I'd then contact Reese and say, the guy I'm buying this Norwich shirt off, he's also got a Stoke one. Is that something you'd be interested in? And before you know it, you've sorted him out a shirt that he was really after, just accidentally. So it is quite nice like that.
Yeah, it's a good community vibe. Out of interest, are you going to the memorabilia fair at the end of the 23rd of March? I think at the Forum. Are you going to that, Billy?
Yeah, because obviously I co-host it with.
Really? No way! I didn't know that.
Yeah. So obviously it was on the Stall City's idea, but obviously they asked me to display because obviously this is the third one we've done.
Yeah,
they asked me to display the shirts because that's like a draw for people to come in, and obviously every time we've done it, we've done something else, and it's grown and grown, and then this one is the big one because we've hired out the floor of the Forum and the outside space.
Yeah, that's
so
really
obviously.
cool.
We've got a lot going on, like with Radio Norfolk there, where you can do a bit of commentating on the game. I think there's a Sabutio table. There's loads of different vendors, and obviously people displaying stuff, selling stuff. So there's something for everyone, and not just Norwich fans, because we've got I think we've got a Luton fan collector displaying shirts. So
it's Jez in disguise, isn't it?
Well, I'll be honest. I was thinking, obviously, that with it being a Sunday, I might struggle to come. But now I know there's a Luton fan there, I might actually come up.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to this because I think me and the Beyond the Barclay, we've got a little team going. So I think me and the Beyond the Barclay team will be there in person just to do some filming and stuff. And then I think we're going to hopefully speak to the On the Stall guys for like some kind of video content because it'll be exciting. And if you're keen, Billy, it will be really good to get your involvement at some point further down the line. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, sure thing.
No, definitely, that'd be really good. I mean, I was just looking down the list of the questions, and this question I'm about to answer isn't in those questions. So, I mean, whereabouts do you source your shirts? Is it sort of people donate them, or do you sort of go onto eBay or stuff like that?
So that's a common question I get asked often, and in a broadest answer possible, I buy them from all over the world.
Right.
Funny as that sounds, some Norwich shirts end up in the most random places. But I've only been gifted one shirt, and that was from Tim Krul. All the others I buy. So every week's different. This week I bought 5 shirts, but then some weeks you go with nothing. So it's so up and down. But that's the excitement, and you just don't know what's around the corner.
I think the thing that you're saying about like around the world, like we've in our mine and Jez's naivety over the course of the last however many months we've been doing this podcast, we have a great guy, Oliver, who does like our TikTok stuff. So he gets data, he gets like maps back from where like the videos have been looked at, and it's far reaching places like Mauritius, places in Africa. I think a lot of it is down to expats that are Norwich fans that live in some like remote parts of the world. So I imagine that maybe they bring their shirts with them, and then you end up kind of they're like, well, we should just sell these. I don't know, but it's a really amazing it's an amazing thing when you think that you could be in the middle of Timbuktu and there's you end up like getting a shirt from someone based there. It's I think it's just an amazing experience.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's just you just the most random things come up, and you think, how did it end up there?
Yeah.
I've been on several holidays to Turkey, and in one bar that I walked into, there's just a Norwich City shirt up on the wall, and I'm like, well, that's a bit weird. What's that doing? In the middle of Turkey? But this bearing in mind this was a bar that had about 20 different shirts on the wall, so maybe it wasn't that sort of rare, I suppose. I mean, jumping into some of the questions, Billy, if you don't mind. I mean, what was the first Norwich City shirt you ever owned, and do you still have it?
So my first match worn shirt was Yusuf Safri's Poppy shirt when we played West Brom in 2006, which I got off eBay for like a mere 50 quid, which was an absolute bargain.
Yeah.
And I have still got that. But if you're talking about replicas, it'll be I don't have that because obviously that's like a kid's size. It was like the tartan mitre from like
that was my one as well.
Yeah,
that's probably us at a similar age then, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, I was born in 90, so
okay, I was 86. But yeah, I mean, that was my first ever one. And funny enough, when we're talking about weird places and football shirts, my dad at the time bought that in a place called Woodville, which is near Burton upon Trent. So they were selling Norwich shirts as far away as Staffordshire. That was Derbyshire actually. So in this sort of random sports shop, and he brought it home for me, and it had my name printed on the back of it. I was pleased as punch really. But what a great shirt as your first shirt, eh?
Yeah, I like it. Although it's the blue, but I think it's got a very Scottish look to it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I think you said about that, hadn't you, Morgan, that you'd wanted that one.
I mean, it's one of the best. Like I remember going to football practice, and that was like that and the Ward shirt, the home shirt for that season with Ward on the back was like the one that everyone had.
Yeah,
and I was always like very envious. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money back then, so couldn't have the sort of replica kicks. It's quite, it's always been expensive, but yeah, that shirt's amazing. I love that shirt, and it's weird. Like a few people have bought it up and said that that's one of their favourites. That sort of third shirt. But yeah, I mean, we've produced some crackers, I think, over the years.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Morgan?
So, I guess moving on to question 2, what's the rarest or most valuable shirt in your collection?
So I've got a few, but I went for my Kevin Keelan, his last shirt that he wore for the club against Liverpool in 1980.
Right. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Well,
is that sponsored by Paul Withy?
No. So this was the Admiral shirt. So it's got no sponsor.
Right. Yes.
And then above the crest is the kit lady Stitch KK. His initials in it before the last game.
Oh wow! Amazing.
So, yeah. Then obviously he gifted it to a fellow collector, which he's since retired. So I then bought it from him. So, but it was quite an emotional. So we done the transfer at Carrow Road, and he got quite choked up about handing it over, which is always quite nice because like that's what some of the stories that you get about how people got stuff. For me to then add it to my collection, but the legacy carries on. Because obviously his appearances for Norwich will never be beaten. Because I think it was like 673 or 72 for a goalkeeper. But players nowadays, they don't stay around long enough.
No.
I mean, how long was he with the club for, Billy? How long was Kevin Keelan with the club for? It was quite a while, wasn't it?
It was quite a while, yeah.
I mean, at least for 12 years, I'd say maybe more than that. I actually don't know, but to play 600 games, he must have been there for some time.
Yeah, and obviously that they played all the cup games, where nowadays the top keeper, the number one, he subs off, and then the second keeper plays. So you're always never going to have full numbers for appearances, if you know what I mean.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. And do you get these shirts signed, or is it just too much of a, you want to keep them as pristine or as authentic as possible?
It just depends. The old one, if say for instance, I got a 1980 shirt today, and it's not signed, I wouldn't get it signed because as the player gets older, his autograph changes,
Right.
and the autograph wouldn't match what it was back then. I know it sounds really
No, it
silly,
doesn't.
but
No, it's
it's
great.
it's different. And I don't ideally like squad signed shirts because it's just too much and it just looks messy. But obviously, if I need the shirt and a squad signed, I just take it, because you can't be choosy. Do you know what I mean? If you need it, you need it.
Yeah. I love this. I think this is really interesting because I think the same with squad shirts, and I see, no disrespect to any listeners that have a squad signed shirt, but I agree. Like I think it kind of ruins the aesthetic of that shirt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And and also just having I think if you're gonna ask a player to sign a shirt, I don't know about you, Billy, but to me it would be best to like very bottom left or right, so it doesn't sort of take over the kind of shirt, I guess. But that's just my opinion.
No, I agree because sometimes, like on the poppy shirts, they get them to sign both sides because if someone wanted to frame the poppy shirt,
Yeah,
they want some people like the autograph at the front, where I'm not a massive fan of that. I like the same as you on the back,
yeah,
just below the number or on the number. It's just enough for me.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the standard. If it's one player, that's the standard, isn't it? It tends to now go on the numbers, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
obviously they're white, aren't they? 9 times out of 10, they're white. So that seems like the obvious place to put a signature or an autograph, should I say?
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say about that is, I suppose if it's the squad signed one, how do I say this without it being negative towards the club? They get done in batches.
Oh, of
So
course I do.
yes,
It loses its speciality.
exactly. So the players, not that they begrudge it, but if they're sitting there doing, I don't know, 20 shirts and it's all of them, then I don't know. I just think sometimes special is the wrong word to use. Of course,
No,
it's
I think
special.
I think what you're saying is fair. Like
Yeah.
it loses that special kind of moment.
Mm.
Imagine being like 8 years old and you're at the end of the game, and you've got your shirt and you're getting it signed by Hernandez, we'll say, because he loves doing that kind of thing. And how made up would you be? And that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Like
Yeah.
it will be that special moment where you got Anel Hernandez to sign your shirt at the end of a game where you beat, I don't know, Stoke 4-2 or whatever.
Mm.
I think there's something in that. It adds an extra dimension to the whole kind of like fancy, and then that kid might then decide to become like Billy and collect shirts. And
Yeah, exactly.
so I completely agree with you, Jez. I think the kind of the nature of that kind of kit sign, squad sign shirt can be a little bit regimented. So yeah, I mean, it does what it needs to do, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that leads nicely into the next question, Billy. So, have you ever gone to ridiculous lengths to get your hands on a certain Norwich shirt?
Yeah, so it kind of links with the first question. So a Chelsea collector out of the blue contacted me on Instagram and said that he'd bought a collection of Chelsea shirts and happened to be in there was a Norwich shirt. Would I be interested? But obviously he lived in Australia.
Right.
And I didn't know this guy from Adam. Like, I hadn't even followed him. It was it went into the request of my DMs. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So obviously I said, yeah, send across a few photos. It all looked for genuine.
Yeah.
So we agreed a price. I sent the cost of money. Obviously, it was I did friends and family because that's what you asked for. Obviously, you hear all these stories, don't you? And you think, am I going to get scammed?
Yeah.
He gave me tracking information. I followed it all the way across the world till it landed at Heathrow, and it turned up, and it was exactly how he said, and it was the most perfect transaction. And I've still got the shirts today, and it's a 1972 shirt, but
Wow.
it's just, yeah, but obviously it's travelled all them thousands of miles.
Yeah.
To get back to Norfolk.
where it originated. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, isn't it, to think that
Yeah.
it's gone on that journey all the way across to Australia, and then it's then made its way back. It's come home. I think that's such a good story.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Billy? What is the shirt made of?
What do you mean?
Like fabric?
Oh, cotton, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because obviously, like, we have the sweat wicking fabric material that the players have and their shirts and stuff like that. I'm not so sure about the goalkeeper kit this season. There's one of my Glacier, who's been on a recent pod for us. He loves the goalkeeping kits of this season. But he said
they're retro, aren't they?
Yeah, he said don't wear one when it's balmy outside because you're going to be sweating buckets. So I cannot imagine wearing a cotton shirt back then.
Oh yeah, when they got wet, they got heavy, didn't they?
Sorry?
When they got wet, they got heavy, I can imagine.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
couldn't.
No, definitely. It's not like the material they use these days is obviously completely different, isn't it? It's more sort of lightweight and almost like heaven forbid I should say this, but like a bit like a wetsuit, really. But it's that sort of vibe, isn't it? But any other stories like that, Billy, that you can remember of getting your hands on any shirts like that?
Well, not like a good story, if you know what I mean, other than McKeelan one. But that's. But just going back to the goalkeeper shirts you said from this season, it was the other day. I think Gunn was wearing the multicoloured one.
Yeah.
And he was down the river end, and it because of the colours of the crowd and the shirt, it just blended in. It just looked like there was no one in goal. It looked really weird.
I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing,
Yeah,
really.
I was going to make a quip, but I decided not to.
But I like the shirt to look at, but when he stood in goal down the river end, I thought you can't really. He's mixed in with the crowd as a general look.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah. Can I just touching on the scammy side of things? Like, what have you come across? Like, have you sort of come across anything like that where you've been hoodwinked, or you want to sort of, for anyone listening that wants to collect shirts, what would be your advice?
Obviously, if anyone, they can always message me, which people do, and say, "Is this real or is this replica, fake, etc." So I'll always help people out. Do you know what I mean? I've always tried, when I see stuff on eBay and it's making big money and it's a fake shirt, I try to go on the forums and say, "Look, don't bid on this because it's literally like a £2 turkey special."
Right.
Yeah. Genuine
That
fake.
someone, but if you don't know and you're a parent buying it for a kid, you just see it as a Norwich shirt, don't you? And that's the problem.
Yeah.
So I've personally never been scammed. I've come close, but you have to sort of eye up their profile. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
But if anyone's got any doubts, they can just message me, and I'll always have a look at whatever they're trying to buy and give them my opinion on it.
Yeah, top man. I'm sure they appreciate it. I mean, I've bought a few classic shirts in my time, but only ones from around the different leagues that I've always enjoyed. Fiorentina's. So one of my favourite shirts of all time is Fiorentina's home and away shirt. I think that it was 2001, where they were sponsored just after they were sponsored by Nintendo. They were sponsored by Toyota, and I just really love the Fiorentina purple. And I managed to pick up like the away shirt. Cost me a pretty penny, about 200 quid. But that was during lockdown. I think when we all had weird lockdown purchases, right? So I lost my mind.
Them lockdown prices went sky high.
Yeah. But that shirt, I got it, and I was like, it was perfect in every single way because it was extra large. So it's like, those shirts back then, it's like a flag. So I can wear it now without kind of fear. But was there anything that, like, during that sort of period of time that you bought that you were like, I guess, did you collect other shirts other than Norwich then?
No, just Norwich match.
Really?
Like players' shirts from Norwich. That's all I collect.
Okay, that's amazing.
Obviously, I did get a Pookie Finland shirt that was worn.
Yeah.
Just through my collecting channels, but I only kept it for a little while, and then something come up, so I had to part with it to
Really?
fund another Norwich shirt. Yeah,
Okay. How do you feel about that?
fine, because I got sold that, and what I bought from it was better for the collection. So
Right.
the
Okay.
Finland shirt it's just one of them things. You either collect international shirts or you don't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I'm sure me and Jez are probably like, well, we're not versed in shirt collections, so I didn't think that anyone would collect in international shirts, but yeah, of course makes absolute
Oh,
sense.
there is international collectors, and that's all they collect.
Mm.
Like they just specialize in like World Cups, Euros, and but obviously they want to have the whole team, all the teams
Yeah,
that have entered. They want to have like one shirt from each, or
Yeah.
if they're just an Ireland collector, they'll have just Irish players and stuff. But you'll be surprised how many different types of collector out there.
Mm.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
it's fascinating because it's not something that I've ever. I mean, I know that there's obviously rare shirt collectors. Another one of my friends, he was in Japan on holiday, and I can't remember what shirt he was wearing at the time, but um, Japanese kids went up to him and were like, "Oh, I really like your shirt. It's really great." Like they're obsessive over there about these kind of things. Um, I guess leading on, it's not part of the question load, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Have you come across anyone that's really like you've been like, wow, this person is super obsessive? Like, have you ever like what's that sort of the collecting sort of characteristics? I guess.
It broke up just before you spoke, so I missed the first bit of what you were saying. All I heard was someone in Japan was wearing a shirt. That's all I heard.
So I was just saying that the collectors out there are quite obsessive. Have you ever met anyone that's been really like shirt obsessive that you've been like, whoa, okay,
Um, Not that I've met personally. I've seen people like around lockdown go all in,
yeah,
buy loads of stuff, and then
yeah,
within a year they sold it all again
Mm.
yeah,
because they got bored or what financial reasons or whatever. But I've seen that for sure.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, so let's have a bit of fun then. We're moving away from the shirt-based questions. What's your ultimate Norwich City five-a-side team based purely on vibes, not ability?
So I went with Andy Marshall in goal,
Start.
Controversial.
just because obviously he went across to the dark side, and
Mm.
I
The
just
blue
think if you're going
side.
to do that, you're a brave man.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because that's a bit of a stench down there. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Godfrey should know all about that.
Yeah,
Mm.
little snake.
Mm.
Um, then I went for Drury and Hux purely because they love to wind each other up, and I
Yeah.
just think, and also they were really good players, but they just go. I think they just go quite well. A bit like how O'Neill and Nunes are. If you follow their TikToks,
Yeah. Yeah, they're funny,
they
them two.
they sort of bounce off each other. Yeah, so I went for that kind of vibe, and then I went for O'Neill and Holt
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
great,
was my other two.
great shout.
I think Holt's just
O'Neill for his.
gone.
Well, I went for O'Neill because of his love of Norwich
Hmm.
and like his passion, and I don't know. There's something about his charisma and that I really enjoy, and he's just a generally happy person.
Yeah.
And then Holt is
That's
just
what Jez is like.
Sometimes.
yeah. I don't
Sorry.
know for Holty just because of his like 'cause he's been at a lot of clubs, so
Mm.
like he's used to being up top and having everyone try and kick him, and he's just not afraid.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't know, I like that, but he's not arrogant about it. If that
Mm.
makes sense.
100%.
Yeah. I think I would always have Holt as my forward in a five-a-side team because good at shielding the ball, quite strong. And you always need that person that's going to stand up front and literally just bully the defenders and wind them up. I mean,
Yeah,
Aston
Yeah,
Barnes would be excellent at a five-a-side.
yeah, he would.
yeah.
Maybe we should ask him the full one.
Morgan, over to you for your ultimate five-a-side team.
I'd probably say I don't know why you chose Andy Marshall, Billy. Really don't.
I think it's brilliant.
John
No,
Ruddy because he's really big. I'd have to have Seb Basong because he's probably not doing much at the moment. Well, he is, but because he can read he was pretty good for us and read the game pretty well. You've got to have like when I played five-a-side, I was always like I used to hang back because I'm crap at skills. Right, I can't do skills, and you've got to have some silky skills to play five-a-side. So I was always like hanging back, being like a bit of a sweeper. So Seb Basong at the back. So that's 1, 2. You've got to have Houlihan, surely. In the tightest spaces ever, like Houlihan's got to be there. He's that guy that can just do shit, and you're like, how come you're playing five-a-side and not playing semi-pro? So Houlihan. Then I would say, God, you put me on the spot. This is usually the other way round, Jez. I'd probably have Sains, because he's just really good at sort of long range hits, and I'd have Holt because, like you explained, that's my five. I'd say it's a pretty decent five-a-side squad. That.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. I think that's good.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Good. You want mine, don't you?
Huh?
You want mine, don't you?
You want what?
You said you want my five-a-side team, don't you?
No.
All right, let's move on then.
This is Billy. This is the kind of level we're at. This level of professionalism. You can see why it's growing and listenings. So, am I asking question 5 now? Because
it's grown from 2 listeners to 3, Billy. So we're doing well. Yeah, it's you. It's the next question.
Okay, so if you could replace one Norwich kit sponsor from history, and this is a really good question because there's one kit sponsor I fucking hate. If you could replace one Norwich kit sponsor from history with anything, what would it be?
So we might not share. Which ones do you hate the most then? A recent one or?
I can't tell you that. You've got to answer the question first.
So I would get rid of Leo Vegas.
Oh, good one. Yes.
And I'll go with Kaylee's.
Oh,
the chocolate.
The chocolate, yeah.
Yes.
But the old school logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
What an amazing shout.
Yeah, that's what I'd go for.
Yeah.
What about you, Jez?
I would get rid of the digital phone company.
That was second on the list.
Cracking. Absolutely cracking. Go on then.
And I would go with Woodford's.
Oh yeah.
But I'd have a different beer for the home, away, and third kit.
Yeah.
You've clearly thought about this far too much.
Yeah.
Flybe, man. Absolutely stinker of a sponsor logo. I don't care if we get pelters for this from Flybe.
Oh, they don't exist anymore, mate. So we'll do well too.
Okay, well, abuse from whatever. That stank. That stank the room out, didn't it? Really. God, and now you put me on the spot. What's a famous Norwich? Why does this keep happening? This podcast. Usually, I'm prepared.
Start right or Clark's.
Why? Are they from Norwich?
Yeah.
Clark's from Norwich.
Yeah, big time.
You're having a laugh, aren't you?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm into footwear. I did not know that. Yeah, Clark's, absolutely, with the old school logo.
Yeah, good. I'm just researching that Clark's, but I'm almost positive it is.
Start right, definitely was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Start right. I had dinosaur shoes from Start Right, where if you flipped over the shoes, you'd see like a one dinosaur in green and one in red, and if you put the shoes together, it made like a little pattern.
Right. So you ready for this? This is the Wikipedia page for Clark Shoes Retail. Okay. C&J Clark International Limited, trading as Clark's, is a British footwear manufacturer and retailer founded in 1825 by Cyrus Clark in Somerset.
So we can't have Clark's then.
Start Right definitely is though.
Okay, yeah. So I'll have Start Right then.
Good. Well, I'm going to leave that in. I'm not going to edit the Clark's bit out because it's just funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately they've got free sponsorship advertising.
Yeah, there we go. So what's the weirdest and funniest place you've ever spotted someone wearing a Norwich shirt? Billy?
Oh, that'd be when I was in holiday in Cyprus. I was just walking on the beach with my partner, and there's just someone coming the other way in a Norwich shirt. And I was just like, I just found it really random because we weren't in like a popular bit. We'd just gone for like a proper wander,
Yeah.
Right.
and yeah, just someone just casually walked on the beach, and he was on holiday in Cyprus at the same time. But it's just I always found it really random and funny.
Did you say anything to him?
Yeah, I said hello and on Ball City and had a little chit chat, and I think he was I think he even lived in Hainford,
Wow.
if my memory serves me right.
I'm not familiar with these Norwich outposts. I'm just
It's not
Come
far
on, Morgan.
from
Get
Horseshoe.
get your map out of Norfolk, mate. Come on. Hainford's north of the city.
all right. Fair enough. I mean, I'm from the centre, so what can I say?
Mm.
What about you, Jez?
I'm the same as Billy. Just holidays and stuff, really, where I've seen other Norwich fans, and I'm desperately trying to think of other ones. I mean, I've run a lot of football tournaments and stuff across the country as well, and sometimes an occasional Norwich fan appears, and it's always nice to see one. And we always make sure that we're wearing the full kit as well, don't we? If we're playing in a football tournament, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Or at least I do. I don't know if that's.
I'm sat at home right now wearing the full kit.
Yeah, true.
They got shin pads on as well.
You are. Oh, I'm wearing AstroTurfs. I'm waiting for the call.
Yeah,
I'm waiting
even
up.
better.
I'm waiting for the call up.
Yeah, but
I've got a good story actually. I
go on.
was in Cuba, weirdly, on a resort about 7 years ago, something like that. And I was sat there with my mate, and we were hanging, and we were just having some food down by the beach. And there was a table next to us. These two sort of guys. They must have been, I don't know, late 40s, early 50s, and they were sort of just chatting. And I listened to them, and I was like, I could hear the accent. Because you never mistake a Norfolk accent, will you? Like
No.
anywhere in the world, you can tell the difference between a Suffolk one and a Norfolk one because Suffolk they sing at the end. But these two lads, they were from Norwich, and I said to them, I was like, "Where are you from?" And they're like, "Oh, we're from Norwich," and I was like, "No, you're not." And then we got chatting, and they regularly go to the Coach and Horses.
Oh wow.
The Norwich pub, and they're big Norwich. They were big Norwich fans. I think we played that day. I think we played Hull, and it was a weird game. It was Daniel Farke's first season, and we lost. I think it was something stupid like 3-2. But yeah, I kept bumping into them the entire holiday. But yeah, they were big Norwich fans. Like in the middle of Cuba, they were really good friends with the rep as well. So prior to me meeting those guys, we were talking to the rep, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, I'm visiting England soon." And we're like, "Well, where are you going to go?" He goes, "Oh, thinking it'll be London, Manchester, Leeds, or something like that." And he goes, "Oh no, I'm going to a place called Norwich. Do you know it?" And I was like, "You're pulling my leg because I'm from there." And he's like, "Really?" And he's like, I'm going to watch the football team play." And I was like, what? Like the arse end of nowhere in Cuba, and this guy's going over to go watch Norwich play. I mean, you can't make that stuff up. It was fantastic.
No, it's good. Right, so this is a big one, I think. If you had to swap your entire collection for one match-worn Norwich shirt, which one would it be?
A playoff final shirt, probably worn by Wes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be that'd be a pretty good one. I
Your
mean,
entire collection, Billy. That's quite a.
Yeah, but I wanted, as a Norwich fan, I always wanted to see us win at Wembley. So we've done that.
yeah.
And I'd love to see us win the FA Cup, but obviously I can keep dreaming. But
Yeah,
just to
definitely.
see if actually win something at Wembley, that day meant so much to me.
Have you ever seen any of those shirts on sale anywhere, or is it just you've never seen it? And
I've never seen any for sale. Obviously, when I did a bit with another collector with a book, Wes lent the shirt, so I have touched his playoff final shirt, and it did give me goosebumps.
Wow.
But yeah, that's as close as I've come to it.
Did you not think at the time that you could just snatch it and run away?
I could, but I'm too quite known, so they'd be like they just knock at my door and they.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I
Billy,
couldn't
what
hide it
does
away.
your is it your partner or wife? What does she think about this? I was going to say obsession, but that sounds a bit collection. What does she think about this collection?
Yeah, she thinks it is definitely obsessive. She doesn't like the smell of some of them, that's for
Yeah.
sure. And she does think I'm a bit nuts, but I try and tell her about certain things, but she's not really too interested. She just said, "Oh, it's another yellow one."
Brilliant.
I think that's a fair assessment.
That's good.
I mean, I think ultimately we are this whole thing, that this journey that we're on with this football club. It is just, isn't it bonkers? You know, I said this the other day on the Pinkin forum. I was like, we support a club whose main aim is to get promoted into the Premier League, knowing full well we're going to get spanked every week and then go back down again. So, isn't that like just absolutely nuts?
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so I mean, Jez called it an obsession. Would you call it an obsession, Billy? What do you think?
it's definitely obsession. I look often through the day through my various places that I find shirts to see if there's another little one been added. So I think that's a good obsession.
Would you just a quick question? Have you ever bundled all of your shirts on the floor, just in the floor of the space that they're in, and just leapt on it like Scrooge McDuck leapt into gold coins? You
I
ever done
haven't. No, but because I've got them hung up, I can just like fall into them if I wanted to.
that? And you've done that, haven't you?
I might have done it a
Yeah,
couple of
I do.
times.
I love that.
It's quite like if you ever are about and you got spare time and you can come round and you'll see what I mean. It's a real smile pleaser
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've got as I've got it set up. I've got 30 years as you can just see to hand. So like you'll pick whenever anyone come around. They said, "Oh, can I have a little look?" Yeah, help yourself. All of a sudden they're like, "Oh my god, I forgot we had him. Oh, look
Yeah.
at this!" And it just goes. They just get carried away. And it's like that is why I love it.
Yeah.
Because it's a time march, isn't it? It's a time march
Yeah,
back to
that never gets boring.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
Because
we're
as a
constantly.
Norwich fan, don't matter what season it is, something happened at
Mm.
some point. Like this season, when we're at Derby away, the Sarge ball that went out
yeah.
and then Borgia. I've got Sarge's shirt from that game.
Oh
Brilliant.
no way!
But yeah, so obviously it can go two ways. If we get promoted and we do it by the 3 points, that shirt to me, I'll think in my head, we done that through that through that kind of goal. But it
Yeah.
just in like 2 or 3, 5 years time, that shirt will always be the Derby shirt that the ball went out and everyone had a meltdown.
Billy, do you document your shirts and sort of have a list of what, you know, obviously you know what the shirt is, but that one you've just mentioned about Sargent, you know, 3 or 4 years down the line, I don't know whether you might forget and look at that shirt and think, oh, why have I got that? But do you write them down and sort of know what the significance of them, I suppose, is the point I'm getting to.
Yeah, so like the big ones I just know off the top of my head, and obviously when I do my TikTok lives and stuff, people like to see stuff. So I bring out the ones that I've got good memory of certain dates and games. So them ones are not a problem. It's just the random obscure ones like Carabao Cup round 2 or something that I've got. I'd have to then look back and see who we played
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
because obviously in a few years' time I'd forget. But I think it was Crystal Palace this year. But
Yeah. I mean, I'd be getting an Excel spreadsheet out, but that's just my sort of
yeah.
my OCD, I suppose, kicking in a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
yeah,
have to get short sleeve, long sleeve of every version that was worn. So it does get quite obsessive in that manner.
I love it. I think it's amazing. I can't remember what I was going to ask you now. But yeah,
That'd be a good start, Morgan.
you've just opened up yourself to us coming over and filming this stuff.
Yeah,
So
sure. Yeah, not a problem.
I mean, we're constantly looking for content to create, I suppose, aren't we, Morgan? And, you know,
Absolutely.
all different angles of Norwich City fans, and you know, and something like this is amazing. And you know, we're looking at I don't know if you know Ronnie Moulton, Billy. He's a Norwich fan that's involved with a dementia club called Duncan's Club.
Yes, I do know him. I saw him on Thursday when we done the
He was there.
unveiling of Forbes' shirt. Yeah,
He was there, and we're going to go down and support him. Well, as you know, we'll obviously wait for the invite, but I think we want to go down and do some filming with him and just really promote that, because it's a really important piece, that, you know.
yeah, that's quite current of what's going on with just today's life, as in dementia's getting more and more common. So yeah,
Well,
I'm
it is,
fully
but I think
behind
you
that.
play a big part in that as well. And you've probably thought of it yourself, but I think your collection would be really vital for someone with dementia that could go there
Absolutely.
and go there and
Oh, yeah.
like, look at the shirt, and then that shirt could be a trigger for them to go, wow, I remember that player, and I remember that time of watching that game, and it was a 3-0 win against Rotherham. I don't know, you know, but I think that could be a really, really crucial, for me, that could be a really interesting and crucial and good link up for you, really, and Ronnie, I suppose. It's just me thinking out loud, really. I don't know.
No, yeah, I do. He has invited me, but I think it's on a Thursday morning, I believe.
Right.
So I did say to him, if you let me know, I'll book a day off work, holiday. And he said, oh, no, don't do that. But I will do it, because I've always said that I like helping people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you're a top man. I like that.
Yeah.
it's not always about me. It's about, if someone else enjoys what I do, then everyone's a winner. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's really, really nice of you, mate.
Yeah. So just question 8 then. If you could keep one Norwich shirt forever, which one are you going to choose?
It'd probably be McKeelan, or it'd be one of the Wes's shirts I've got. I've got 12 of his at the minute, but
Really?
yeah, I'm missing one home shirt to have each home shirt from the seasons that he's at Norwich.
Wait, so not only do you collect the match worn shirts, but on that, your let's ask. I'm going to ask you a question. Top 3 players then.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Top 3. What, from my lifetime, or
Yeah, from your lifetime and
yeah?
shirts you want to collect.
So Wes is up there.
Yeah.
Hux.
Yeah.
And Holly.
Oh, amazing. So I assume that you've set about trying to collect every single shirt from the seasons they were at Norwich. Is that right?
Yeah, but obviously you can't. This is what I tried to explain to people, because you can't just go to a shop and buy it.
No.
You have to wait until one just comes up.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
you can wait years or months, and it just it's so, you just don't know. You might not find another Wes shirt for 10 years, and then all of a sudden 3 will just come up at once.
This is absolutely amazing. I mean, out of interest, have you ever is there anything else in your lifetime that you were this keen on collecting, just out of interest?
I got given some stamps when I was young, and I started to do that, but that was nowhere near, like, it just wasn't as interesting. I assume it didn't last too long.
Yeah.
But it's just something, there's a lot more that goes with this, like nostalgia moments, because obviously I go to the games as well, so I can relate to certain shirts that I was there, I watched us do that, or if it's an era shirt, or there's always a story with some of them, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. It's like an emotional attachment to a time. Like I remember a Boxing Day against Nottingham Forest.
The 3-3.
The 3-3. And
see, mine was the same season. I think we played Millwall at home,
4-3.
and we won 3-2.
3-2. Yeah.
Was it? I thought it was 4-3.
Or 4-3, 1-2. 3-2.
It doesn't matter, but I get your sentiment. I mean, it's that level of, I guess, involvement, like emotional involvement. So you are emotionally attached to that shirt at that one point, and it gives you, which is why Jez's comment about Duncan's Club makes absolute sense. You know, it could make such a difference to their output and how they help people with dementia. So I just think it's a fantastic thing. I mean, you know, starting this podcast, I just thought, geekily, we love shirts, we love collecting, but it's certainly like it's evolved from the conversation. So it's so cool, man. I think what you're doing is fantastic.
Yeah, great. And then moving on, Billy, what's your go-to Norwich City related superstition or match day ritual?
So we just meet up with my mates and we go for a few beers before the game. That's just something we've done for years, and we continue to do it. And it's always good to see your mates and have a chat and get the excitement, like when the team news comes out and the
Where'd you
walk to
go?
Carrow Road. We mix up at like Last Pub Standing or Rooftop Gardens, coaching. It just depends on the day, if it's raining or how busy it is, or if it's a Saturday, Sunday game, early kick-off. We try and mix it up a bit.
Shout out to the that German beer pub opposite the Last Pub Standing in Norwich.
Yeah, the little one.
Yeah, it's really good in there. They've got loads of Norwich like memorabilia around it, so it's a really good pub for anyone who's interested.
That used to be Caspian's.
Yes, it did. Yes.
Can we talk about Caspian's for 1 minute?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you're the one that's on the timeline, so.
Billy, are you aware of Caspian's?
I've walked past the place you're talking about, but I've never been in there.
So Caspian's, for those who aren't aware, is a former, well, it used to be a pizza and kebab place, but the pizzas, if you go to like a Domino's or something, you expect it to be cooked properly, don't you? This guy would probably put it in for about 20 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So it would literally be, the dough wouldn't be done, the cheese probably wouldn't be melted. If you had pepperoni, it'd probably be raw. But it was the best pizza you ever had.
That's great.
So, yeah, that's your little Caspian story.
It's probably why it's a German beer place now.
Yeah, true. He's probably poisoned someone, hasn't he? But they were literally the best pizzas of all time.
They're not going to come back. They're not going to come back to haunt you, so you can say what you want. I guess the final question before my random question of the week, Billy, which I don't know if you've heard about, but it's intense. It's not. If you could bring back any classic Norwich kit, but with a modern twist, which one would you pick, and what would you change? It's a really good question, actually.
So I'd probably go for the 85-86 Hummel one with Paul Whiffy.
Oof.
So this is after we've won the Milk Cup. This is after we've won the Milk Cup. So it's got the two-tone yellow stripes, and then it's got like two black lines through the tummy line, with obviously the sponsor in the middle, with your chevrons on the sleeve. But obviously, you'd have to mix it up with a more of a modern sponsor.
What would that sponsor be?
Oh God! Of today's ilk.
Good use of ilk. Love that.
I'd still like Aviva to come back, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think Aviva's been our best sponsor. Like, it looks,
why?
It's because it looks cool.
Well, yeah, that, but also you've then got the cathedral,
The spine,
and the castle on the shirt.
Yeah, that's true. So tell me more about this cathedral, Jez, because I'm pretty sure that I was the one to talk to you about this the other day.
No.
So tell us some more.
No, Norman Cathedral, right? But built in 1200.
No,
circa.
No, earlier than that.
Oh, was it really? Okay, well,
about
maybe
1080, about 1080 after the Norman conquest of the UK.
Yeah.
But like the spire for Aviva is in the logo is the spire of the cathedral.
Correct.
So I think for anyone who, like, I've probably slaughtered history there, but I don't care. It just looks the Aviva logo is so cool, and it's from Norfolk, Norwich Union, Aviva from Norfolk. Can't get a better sponsor than that, really, can you?
I mean, no, 100%. Billy, before we go on to Morgan's random question, and I'm just shocked we haven't asked it, and if we have, I apologise. What's your favourite shirt, like in terms of, obviously not match worn, but just your favourite shirt of all time that Norwich played in, home or away?
So that'll be the 93-94 Egg and Cress.
Yeah.
The bird poo.
Yeah, if you want to say it like that. But in long sleeves.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Interesting. Yeah. So like the Raw Fox wore long sleeves, didn't he?
Yeah,
The
and
Raw Fox.
Chris Sutton.
Raw Fox. But mine's the Asics. It remains to be the Asics.
The
I did
white one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did actually have one, but I sold it quite recently.
Oh, but you don't regret
Which
that now, do you?
which sponsor did you like on the Asics? Because there's 5 versions of that.
The Asics, the original Asics one that's got the sponsor on it, the Asics written on the front of it. I think.
What just says Asics or Asics sports shoes?
Oh, sorry, I don't
If,
even. I'd have to look back at the photos I had of it. I think it was
yeah,
sports shoes.
yeah, because there's 5 different versions of that shirt.
Is there really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, just I don't know. There's no one will even tell me why or how really, but if there's different versions, so
Do you know
you
what?
can
I've actually got a match worn shirt in my collection.
have you?
Yeah, so I don't know if you're aware, but we've actually teamed up with Adrian Coote last couple of weeks,
Yeah,
and he's started to do some content for our channel. And something we forgot to mention actually last week when we were on with him, Morgan. But I've actually got, can you remember the navy blue shirt that we had with the fluorescent yellow and green bits on?
yeah.
So I've got one of those with the nationwide badges on the side, and it's got number 13 written on the back of it. And it was, I was told when I brought it that it was an Adrian Coote match worn shirt,
What colours the numbers?
yellow.
Oh wow.
I'll send you a photo on Instagram. I'll just do it just now, actually, live
Yeah,
on
please
pods.
do.
I'll do it now. What do you want? I'll do the badges as well.
Yeah, the number will be is what I'm interested in.
I mean, without mentioning the the I don't want to give them any kind of like advertising, but as a particular company now that specializes in replica shirts that are based in Manchester and London. It doesn't take a genius to work out who that is. Have you dealt with them? And if you have, what's been the sort of outcome?
Dealt with them in what respect?
I guess bought from them and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm fairly certain that they would have had that kind of egg and crest shirt, but yeah, just kind of getting your take on how best do you collect?
So I don't tend to buy from them. I have in the past because I've had a few bits that they didn't realise what they was as such. So I
Okay.
got them.
Yeah.
If you sell to them, you'll get peanuts. Do you know what I mean? They're there to make big money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're just buying your regular replicas, it's okay, but I do think they are expensive.
Mm.
Some of their photos are quite misleading sometimes, but the problem is they've got too big, so they've got people like my mint and your mint. There's a difference. There could be a difference.
Okay.
So that's where it falls down on there. Sometimes they'll say good condition, and when you get it, I would call it bad condition, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
But that's just me being picky. Do you know what I mean?
Benny, I've just sent you them photos, mate. Have a look.
I'll have a look. You're gonna make me cry, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That is, yeah. Wow. When did you get it? Recently?
No, I reckon I've had it for about 10 years, mate. I think I bought it on eBay.
Wow. Well, if you ever sell it, let me know.
Well, maybe an offer live on the pod. It's contractually binding, isn't it? So,
well, let me just have a look at something. Oh, I can't give you. If it is what I think it is, I'd go like 150.
oh, now we're talking. Well,
You
maybe.
can buy a shed with that, Jez.
Yeah, I don't know if this is strictly allowed actually to barter on the pod, but
Probably not.
Maybe we'll have a chat off air, Billy.
Yeah, we'll have a chat.
I think it's that time. It's got to be.
It is definitely that time. It's long overdue. Morgan, across to you.
I've decided to do a different vocal this time. So, Billy, strap yourself in, mate. So it's a random question of the week.
Oh my God.
Well, it's not essential. Billy, imagine
Billy,
you're
right.
Yeah, I feel. Imagine you're on a Parisian catwalk. You've just arrived in Paris for Paris Fashion Week, and it's the theme is sports casual. You're walking down the catwalk in representing Louis Vuitton, who've done a crossover with Norwich City. What shirt, what kit, what entire ensemble are you going to be wearing, and why? And also, you need to be wearing AstroTurf. So, what AstroTurf are you going to wear? Bearing in mind, this is Fashion Week in Paris, 2025. It's a big deal.
It's got to go. The Astra's got to be total 90s with the side lace.
Yes. What a pair of football boots they were.
I mean, you're building up from the shoes. Every outfit builds from the shoes. Perfect.
So that's like Rooney-esque for me, them sort of shoes. I'm gonna go with 2004 Proton or the Lotus Away shirt.
Yeah.
You know the green, the black one with the centre badge.
Yep.
Yeah. Why? Why is that? Why is that unleashing your fury on Fashion Week in Paris, though?
Because I think that actually generally looks like a nice. It's like it doesn't hurt your eyes. It's a nice colour palette, and it's I love. It's like British Racing Green. It's a lovely colour.
Yeah, it's certainly a nice green. What colour were the shorts of that and the socks?
They were green.
So all green ensemble.
Yeah.
You look like a bottle of Heineken.
With silver total 90 boots.
Oh, whoa! That's good. Any headwear?
Nah, no headwear.
No fluorescent baseball cap. No.
If it's cold, you can put a snood on, I guess.
The casually tossed scarf. Yeah. Can you imagine us coming around your house doing a video?
Great. I reckon you'd love it. You'd never want to leave. Where you give this pod, where we've got to be off by 9. We'd be like, how long we got?
Jez has got to be off by 9. I can talk for the next 20 minutes if you want. No, all good. There you go.
Excellent. That's really good. Thank you so much, Billy.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased you didn't ask me, Morgan, that one, because I had something really special lined up.
Do you want me to ask you? You've got to be off in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I can do it in 2 minutes. I can do it in 30 seconds.
Go on then, quickly.
Right. So the Euro 96 David Seaman red goalkeeper shirt.
Okay.
If you remember that.
Vaguely, yes. I mean, it was the tournament that broke my heart, and I never wanted to follow England again. But yeah, I can remember it.
Do you remember we went through a really, really long shorts phase around the early 2000s?
Yeah.
I'd have a pair of Norwich City green shorts.
Okay.
I would go for the retro stripy yellow and green socks.
Okay.
And it's got to be the original Adidas Predator boots.
I love the fact that I love those, but equally you've also created a Frankenstein's monster from kits, and right now Billy's probably hurling into a bucket.
Yeah, I was right with the goalkeeper socks. So that's the red one with like yellow and green sort of shapes on it, isn't it?
Correct.
Or not?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, and that's why I went. I think that's why it works. The rest of the outfit. So and I think Louis Vuitton or Versace would probably agree with me. So
I don't know. Do you dress yourself, or does your wife do that for you?
She despairs because she knows that as soon as I open my wardrobe up, there's just very much the same as Billy's collection. It just literally is yellow and green, and my 3-year-old son, his wardrobe starting to look very similar. So. And he's declared his love for Norwich City as well now. By the way, so we're on to a winner. Well, she's an Arsenal fan, so we're trying to keep him away from that.
So basically, he's on a road to a lot of hurt and misery throughout the rest of his life. There.
Well, in fact, his classic line last week was, "I don't like football, I like Norwich." So,
nice.
I think we'll leave it there, shall we, gents? Billy, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been one of my favourite episodes, actually, by far.
Oh, nice one. Well, any time, like I said, if you want to come around, just let me know and we can
Thank you.
arrange that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Really appreciate
Excellent.
the invite. Thank you.
Morgan, thank you once again, my friend. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll look forward to speaking to everyone on the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Sign off, please.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my name's Jez Davies.
I've been Morgan Hewitt. Billy, over to you.
And I've been Billy Pointer, Norwich shirts.
Perfect. We've been Beyond the Barclay. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Superb. And just over an hour as well. That was brilliant, lads. Well done.
Yeah, thank you so much, Billy. I really appreciate it. It was a great chat. So much fun.
I feel like we should be putting this out before the shirt fair.
That went a lot better than I thought, actually. No, I was reading
Billy, we've been doing this for 6 months. We know what we do by now.
No, but I read the questions. I thought, this is going to be like 10 minutes.
We like to we bulk it out, Billy. So little sort of questions start appearing once you start speaking. So
yeah, no, it works really well. The format's really good.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it, and we are going to try and come over to your house, not in a threatening way, but in a good way.
100%.
Well, obviously, try and make it a weekend or something.
Yeah, on a match day or something.
Yeah, if you're there, if you come.
That's it for this episode of Beyond the Barclay. Thanks so much for listening. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and leave a review if you enjoyed the show. You can also catch all our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And if you've got any questions, stories, or topics you'd like us to cover, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, on the ball, City.